Welcome to Superbike School UK. This episode sees us move to Kent and the historic Brands Hatch Indy Circuit.
Paddock Hill's one of the scariest turns you come across.
With the help of cornering guru Andy Ibbott and the California Superbike School, we're going to let you in on just some of the secrets that have helped turn the likes of Leon CAMIER and Thomas Luthy into champions. Coming up in part 1, I'll gain some refinement with level 4. We check out the infamous slide bike, and I pick up some tips on bike setup. For those new to the series, the California Superbike School is the brainchild of one man, Keith Code. Basic idea of the school being, if you're faster in the corner, you'll be faster all round.
I didn't really start to train people for professional racing until the end of 1980.
In 1980, the California Superbike School was born. The school soon began to attract attention from riders and racers worldwide. And in 1999, Andy Ibbott became the school's first British coach in Europe. The linchpin of the school's European effort, he also works with some of motorcycle racing's brightest stars. Join me, Sheila Nair, as we follow 3 very different riders through the school. Al Fagan, bike journalist and supersport racer, is no stranger to the track. And then there's me. I just want to go faster. Track day advice just hasn't cut it for me, so I'm looking to Andy to change my riding for good.
By the time a rider gets up to level 4, we're looking at refinement. Level 4 is a personalised program for each rider, so the program varies tremendously from person to person. Level 4, we take apart yet again what they've learnt in the 3 previous levels, and we start to build on the weak areas that we discover from that.
It's back to school for Al as he refines everything he's learned so far with coaches Glenn Rothwell and Johnny Haynes. Showing his dedication, Al's riding his JHS Racing Triumph 675, the same bike he races in the British Supersport Cup. Level 4 is where Al gets to personalise his training and focus on his weak points with precision coaching.
Start searching for information. Now don't try and remember to do it. It's almost, it should be an instinctive, like, what do I need now? Right, that's where I'm going to turn. So where am I going to go? Start looking in. Before you even, there's even anything to see, if you like. I've got a perfect one for sure. I'm going in and looking at sort of like as far as I can, and where the marker point sort of cuts away, you can see the apex, right? So that's the only, that and Paddock Hill, Paddock Hill I'm a bit wary of still, but okay. Druids is the only place I've got sorted. I'm just trying to go round corner by corner and get everything right dialed in. Do you feel like you've got loads and loads of space in front of you, width-wise, or does it feel quite narrow? No, loads. Feels like you've got loads. So it's almost like you've got too much. You don't know what to do with it, or? Yeah. Well, probably, yeah. There's too much going on. Yeah. That's the problem, yeah. Well, I think that you're not quite sure what to do with all this space, so we need to try and locate you in that space. And you need to start picking up really solid apex RPs. Without that, you know, you're never going to really know what you're supposed to be looking forward to. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a little speck on the ground. It can be the shape of the curb in a certain place, you know, just something you can identify and say, right, that's where I want to put my tyres. And then you start looking for that as soon as you can. So if you feel like the 2 steps is a snappy action, it's not working right. You need it to start coming into your wide view, and then you go, oh, there it is, and you go and look at it, rather than, oh, I've got to do it now. I want you to start feeling like knowing when your head's starting to go in and really get that visual flow. That's what we're going to try and get, all right? That's exactly what I need. That's the word I'm looking for, visual flow. Yeah. Okay, well that's the buzz for today, all right? So try and just get it to smoothly, your eyes go from one thing to the next, and you're looking for plenty of time, pick it up before you need it, use it at the right time, you know, just get it all rolling. Okay? Right. Okay.
It was tricky getting back into the swing of things from a race weekend, being flat out and riding how I ride, and coming back to the school and it took me sort of pretty much half a session to get back into relaxing and looking where I should be in the right way of doing things rather than the wrong way, which is my way, unfortunately. But yeah, no. After a few laps, I had a quick word with Johnny, relaxed a bit more, had some clean track, and yeah, if I can get my visuals right and my timing of the looking at apexes and exits, I'll be happy walking away this afternoon with get everything flowing and correct. So.
I've not had the pleasure of riding a slide bike, and it does instill a bit of fear in me.
What we have here is the slide bike, another one of the off-track machines that we use at the Superbike school. When Keith Code invented the slide bike, he wanted riders to be able to experience a rear-wheel slide and to learn how to control it. What we have on the slide bike here are some outriggers, and as you can see, they've got quite a lot of movement in them. This is to allow the bike to lean over, so the bike feels fairly real to the rider when they're on it and doing the slide bike drill. The hydraulic damping here is to actually slow the bike down once it slides. What riders have a tendency to do is when the rear slides is chop the throttle. If you chop the throttle when the bike slides, you're going to end up in a high side. That means you'll go from here and fire yourself all the way over that side of the bike, and I can tell you from personal experience, that really hurts. One of the misconceptions we have with the slide bike, because of these arms and because of the dampers, is that it's uncrashable. Well, although the bike is held up by the dampers here, as you can quite clearly see, it's not an uncrashable bike.
As a student, I fell off the slide bike and haven't ridden it since, actually. So this year I'm going to be getting coaching the slide bike and all the other brake rig drills, so I actually have to ride them myself to proficient standard to be able to coach them as well. But they are quite daunting. I don't like riding around the paddock, let alone anywhere else.
Next up, James is going to make my school bike feel like my own. Although the Yamaha R6 is an amazing machine, straight out of the crate its suspension is set for the weight of an average man, which I'm definitely not. So, when it comes to track riding, we could all do with something a little more personal. And this is where James Campbell Wilson of Setup Engineering comes in.
It's my job to make the bike do what you want. You've learnt the technique, you're doing it, and the bike's going. Isn't it?
It's not just me.
It's not you, it's the bike. So we've got to do something about that to make the bike do for you what it does usually for Chris, who's the bloke who last set it up, who's a bit quick. First off, I'm coming off that bloody spring preload.
So what does that do?
That comes off the spring tension.
So
1,
you don't need
2,
as much force
3,
to affect it?
4. Yeah, it's the same spring, but the pre-tension on the spring, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. So now it's the same spring, yeah, but it's not in a big bear hug, it's in a nice cradling. So it's for you, supple, soft. So two effects is, it's going to dive a lot better for you, for your weight, and it's actually, because you've come off the spring, the front of the bike's dropped down. So now it will turn quicker. So now you can look and it will go. Because you're light, we've also got to come off all off the spring preload as well. Just going to slide round here a minute and come off the spring. That's it. Right, now you're on the softest setting now. So I've done the same at the rear as I've done to the front. So now it's steeper at the front, so it will turn, but that's got less preload on it because you're only 7.5 stone.
The only other problem I was having was I felt like I was on an on and off switch with the throttle and the...
Yeah, well, if you just pull that in, now you see your finger, you really want, just touching the brake onto the disc, that's it. You want that digit there and that digit there at 90 degrees, like that.
So you need to bring the
Yes,
finger in.
yes. That's what these adjuster bubble things are for. Yeah. Now try it. See, now your effective fingers, you're using these top 2 digits and the 2 middle fingers at 90 to here. So pull it. It's easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's actually doing the same thing, but it's softer, it's more supple, it's nearer, so now you can let go of the brake, so you ain't letting go 10 foot away and then coming back to the twist grip and going, I can't roll it on. You actually can now.
Well, it's not set up for anybody in particular, is it, I suppose?
No. No. If I was setting the bike up for you, this would have different springs in the front and rear. More absorbent for you. That's about all we can do now, apart from tyre pressures. But I won't start adjusting them until you go out there and start ragging it.
That'll be the session coming up, yeah. And that feels great already, just knowing that that brake is there.
Well, you'll feel the difference after your next session.
Let you know.
In and let us know, yeah. All right, my lovely. That's my job, to make the bike do what you want to do when you're applying the technique. They tell you what to do. I tell you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, James.
Oh, my darling. Catch you later.
Shall I let you know how it gets on?
Oh, yes.
It is.
Coming up in part 2, I get the chance to work on my body position in the level 3 drills. BSB superstar Leon CAMIER stops by for a chat with Andy Ibbott. And Al continues his quest for refinement. Don't go away. Welcome back to part 2 of Superbike School UK. Coming up next, I tone my body position. Leon CAMIER stops by for a chat, and Coach Johnny tries to keep up with Al. But first, it's the drills I've been waiting for. My chance to get my body position right. Al's been through these drills already, and I'm eager to see if they'll help me as much as they did him. Through level 3, lessons move out of the classroom and into the garage, where a variety of machines are used by Andy and the coaches to teach us all how to get off the bike. Gary is my on-track coach today, so it's his job to make sure I've paid attention. It's a lot more hands-on now, where before there was a lot of theory, now it's time to put all those classroom lessons together with the body. It's going to be a big day.
If you sit close to the tank, when you slide across the bag, the only thing you can do is rotate around the tank. Because that outside leg to come away. If you lose contact there, the only place you can hang on is here. If you sit back a little bit off the tank, not too far, about that much. Now slide across the bag. Okay, a bit further, there. Use that outside leg into the tank there, relax yourself. Okay, take your hands off the bars. Give up that outside leg. Okay. So that's where you need to be hanging on. So if you did it there, if you hung on like that, and stuck off the tank instead of across, is that going to give you more stability? Give it a try. Okay.
I really enjoyed that. Just finally moving my body around on the bike just feels right. Yeah, it feels really comfortable. Gary was telling me to move back from the tank a little bit, and it made all the difference from rolling round the tank to being able to move across it. Made a huge difference, and just nice to be doing something physical with the bike rather than just thinking all the time. It's information overload sometimes, and it's just really good to actually just get in and ride the bike. I mean, it's a lovely track anyway. It's a lovely day. makes a difference. Oh, it's good. Yeah. Okay. Knees are aching though. It's a lot of pressure on your knees. It's dry.
Okay, so how did that go?
My knees ache.
Okay, good. That's a good start. What was the point of the exercise? What were we trying to do with the hook turn?
To get the bike turning in a bit more without actually creating more lean angle, just lower centre of gravity.
Okay, good. And did you manage to achieve that?
I think so, in clearways, because I've ridden here before and I often go wide at clearways and you can sit there and go, oh, okay, I'm going out here. But it was quite nice just to roll down the side of the tank a bit, and I feel more comfortable with maybe rolling down.
Okay, good.
And just feel that the bike was going where you'd originally printed it.
Good. After we spoke, did you feel a little bit more stable on the bike?
Much better, yeah. I think I was just saying that as soon as I sat back from the tank, my knee seemed to be in a much, much better position. At one point I was thinking, I'm just too many things going on in my head and I'm trying to think about my turning points and this, that and the other, and with cab steering, I'm doing the rock pulling and pushing and all sorts of things. And so I did just ride, and then when I got to clearways, just practice the hook turn, which I was really surprised that it was working. I don't know if it showed, but I felt like it was just pulling the bike in without me having to do.
You can see the bike from behind physically. Start to pull in tight behind. Was there anywhere where you struggled with it?
I am struggling with gears, and I think the main reason is, because I think you said before that I'm coming on the gas too early, and then have to force the gas in and pushing off and coming on mid-corner. And I think it's because I'm going into it too slowly. I keep feeling it a little bit when I come there. I'll then kind of enter the corner and think I'm just going far too slowly to feel comfortable around it.
Okay, well, go into it at the speed that you're comfortable and think a little bit on your throttle control and try and get the timing right on the entrance sequence so you do hold a nice constant line through there.
One of the reasons that Leon ended up coming to the school is he was fast but did a lot of crashing. Probably fair to say, wouldn't it?
Just the odd one or two.
Just the odd one or two. So his manager at the time suggested that he come along to the school, and probably no doubt you went, what, school? Me? Don't you know who I am?
No, actually, I was actually pretty willing. In all fairness, I remember what you and Johnny were saying about thinking you didn't need it, but I was interested to see what you were going to teach. But still, at the same time, I was willing to listen, 100%. Basically, it was just the same as everyone else, really. Just started and went from level 1 right all the way to level 4, and sort of carried on from there, really. And it was just same as everyone else, you know, doing starting off with the level 1 drills of the bars and steering and stuff like that. And it's amazing that you can go from knowing how to ride a bike and sort of having been pretty successful already to then actually trying things and understanding really how you're doing it. It's a pretty weird thing to actually go through, but you know, I've 100% found it works, you know, so I've stuck with it, and here I am today, really.
2005 was quite successful. Won the British Superbike, Super Sport Championship.
Yep.
Which was very nice. Nice on the CV for both of us, I feel.
Absolutely.
And then this year we've been concentrating on the races. It's no different to the school in what we're teaching, but when you're riding at literally at 100%, you sometimes a pair of eyes on the outside of the track will give you that edge over the opposition. Opposition are trying to work it out for themselves and still ride at 100%. That's hard to do. So having somebody there saying, well, actually, line through here could be a little bit better, hold it a little bit tighter there, maybe get on the gas a little bit earlier, a little bit later, how's your wide view on turn entry, what you're looking at. Quite a lot of it comes down to vision, doesn't it?
I think that's probably one of my biggest things I need to work on is vision. And just simple little lines as well. Like at Snetterton, this year was the first Superbike race I've won, and just happened to be Andy's first time this year as well at a meeting. So
coincidence?
Yeah, I think not. It was a massive difference I found. It helped me, you know, just having someone watching me. And exactly what Andy said, when you were doing it yourself, you're thinking 100% exactly what you're doing. You're trying to sort of half fight the bike a little bit sometimes to get it to do exactly what you want. But having someone there just from the outside giving you a few words of advice, you know, makes a difference. Hopefully we can sort of work on it and hopefully win. It'd be the plan.
Yeah,
I reckon.
I like wins. Wins are good for you.
I'm all right with them.
Good for me. Yeah, yeah, they're all right.
I think we could do better. I think we got wins and best and fastest lap.
Yeah, and pole position.
And pole, yeah. All right, so that's not much of an ask, I don't think.
Easy.
We can do that.
Level 4 is fast becoming Al's playground. With no set classroom drills, Al is able to focus on his riding. But while he's doing that, it's all too easy for Chief Riding Coach Johnny Haynes to assess his weak points. To do this, the pair will take turns shadowing one another's lines around Brands Hatch before debriefing in the pits.
It felt like I had way more room up there. And that made it easier to look ahead and made it look like it was more natural, more flowing, good. So how did the opposite make you feel? Did you feel uncomfortable? When you looked at the apex for too long, you were right on top of it, did that feel normal or did that feel...
It wasn't uncomfortable.
Right, okay. How about looking away way too early?
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
All right, so your natural tendency is to look at it longer rather than for less time?
Yeah.
Okay.
You are going to have to deal with slow riders today. And you should be able to figure out fairly early whether or not you're going to get by before the corner. If you're not, don't just bin the corner off. Still follow your line, have a look at something, get something from it. It won't be at full speed, but you might go, actually, there's a black patch of time out there. Maybe that'll actually help me. Might be able to see that earlier than what I've got at the moment. Whatever, just see if you can get.
Well, that's what I've been doing on the first three corners in his work. So regardless of well, especially Paddock Hill, because I look for the pit exit lane. Stick to my line regardless of what's coming, wherever it is, pretty much.
Okay. So those are the turns where you've got good RP. And when you're overtaking, you still need to know where you want to be, so that you know how much adjustment to make if you can't be there. So rather than just making it up each time you come across a rider, you can say, well, I'm going to have to turn a bit later, so I'll have to turn it quicker, or go a bit slower, or whatever it might be. So you can figure out your adjustment before you even get there. What I want you to try is pick your apex, so you look at your apex on the two-step, turn the bike, as soon as you're happy you're going there, then follow from the apex. So say the inside white line, go from the apex and let that lead you up to the vanishing point.
Don't actually look ahead, straight, don't actually go...
No. That step is a bit too much.
Like you draw some dots and...
Almost imagine your line, and follow that line out of the turn. And you know you're going to hit your apex. Once that's set and you don't need it anymore, just go. Let the turn lead you out to the next point.
Tune in next week for the last episode in the series, when I learn the hip flick with Andy and put it to the test with Gary. And I catch up with classmate Derek Redmond on a track day at Brands Hatch. See you then.